Inflation is at a 31-year high, and I'm going to tell you why this affects you and your future. Hey everybody, my name is John Kelly, and I'm the owner of Live Free Miami. And you're probably wondering, why is a gym owner talking to me about inflation? That's because I'm more than just a gym owner. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a small business owner, I'm an investor, I'm an American just like you. And these inflation numbers are affecting me, they're affecting you, and everybody we know. And that's why we need to be educated on what's happening and what we can do about it. Today's inflation numbers came out telling a very important story to our financial future. Our financial future is going to dictate how free we are moving forward. If you're limited financially, there's no way you're going to be able to attain freedom. Freedom is being able to do what you want, when you want, and how you want. If you have to worry about paying bills every month that are increasing at a pace that you can't keep up, you're going to be trapped. You're going to be the farthest thing from free. The numbers are telling us that inflation is up 6.2% from last October to this October. That's a 31-year high. So in 31 years, we haven't seen inflation like this in 1 year. In September, inflation was 0.4%. Last month in October, it was 0.9%. That means it more than doubled in just 1 month. And yet, we're passing more and more bills that stimulate our economy. That means money is being pushed into our economy, taking all the money that's already there and lowering it. By lowering the value of the money currently, they're stealing from you. And when I say they, I mean the Federal Reserve, I mean the government. If you think these stimuluses are free, you're wrong. We're paying for the stimulus through our taxes. They are stealing from our past and they are stealing from our future. Inflation is only going to continue to rise as long as they're printing money. That means that the money you have right now is losing value. So what can you do about that? The CPI index is how we measure inflation. It shows that inflation is at 6.2% from last year to this year. But that's only because they measure it in a very specific way. If you took how we measured CPI in the 1990s, we would be up over 17%. The cost of gas is going up. The cost of food is going up. The cost of shelter is going up. But your wages are not. So what can you do to prevent the Federal Reserve and the United States government from stealing your energy and your purchasing power? The first thing you need to do in order to maintain your purchasing power is learn the difference between liabilities and assets. I learned this in 2012 when I read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I realized that I had only liabilities. I was working as a firefighter, not saving up any money and paying for my car, my house, my kids' school, electricity, internet, credit cards. I was in debt and I had nothing that was making me money. So if I lost my job, I lost everything. That's when I realized that the job was limiting me. The job was keeping me from growing because it was forcing me to do things that I didn't love to do. So I took a look in the mirror and I said, what do I love to do? I love to work out. That's why I opened a gym. I knew that opening a gym would be an asset for me, that I could teach people to do what I love, help them become healthy, and then build an asset for myself. This was very hard in the beginning because I had to put all my time and energy and money into building it. But it gave me the ability to grow exponentially. There was no more limits to what I could create and what I could earn. After years and years of working hard, I began to understand that instead of trading my time for money, I needed to make my money make money. And I began to learn about investing. I began to learn what assets that I should be investing in. It's no coincidence that today, November 10th, 2021, with record numbers of inflation coming out, that Bitcoin has hit an all-time high. Bitcoin is an asset that all of us can own, that maintains our purchasing power. I know most people in America and around the world probably think Bitcoin is magic, but it's not. Bitcoin is real. Bitcoin became a $1 trillion industry faster than any company, faster than Microsoft, faster than Amazon, faster than Google. It's only been 12 years since the 2008 financial crisis. That's not a coincidence. Bitcoin was literally made because of the manipulation by the Federal Reserve and by the government. When you buy a piece of Bitcoin, you are pulling your energy out of the government corruption and putting it into mathematically programmable money. Nothing changes about Bitcoin. There's no CEO to go on social media and screw things up. There's no emotions when it comes to how you will make a Bitcoin. There is a limited supply. There's an unlimited amount of dollars. When you have a limited supply of something, you have what's called scarcity. Scarcity drives demand. So by you taking your energy in the form of US dollars and putting them into Bitcoin, you're preserving your energy over time. I have been doing this on a small scale since 2015. Very small, and more in 2017, more in 2018. As I learned more and more and understood the power of investing, I began to put more and more of my energy into these investments, mainly Bitcoin. That has allowed my purchasing power to not only maintain as inflation has increased, but grow faster than inflation. You can put your money in the stock market, but due to inflation numbers being at all-time highs, you are barely outpacing the inflation numbers. Whereas Bitcoin has gone up over 300% in the last year alone. This will not stop. Will it pull back? Yes, it will. You don't put your rent money into Bitcoin. You put your savings into Bitcoin. Bitcoin is volatile. It's going to go up and down over time, but it's going to go up in the long run, as it always has, due to its limited supply. Every 4 years, Bitcoin supply is cut in half. This creates more and more demand. If you look at a chart of Bitcoin from 2008 to 2021, you'll see a steady increase. If you look at a chart of the dollar versus Bitcoin from 2008 to 2021, you'll see a steady decrease. So what do you need to do? If you have money in the bank, put it into an investment vehicle. That could be Bitcoin, that could be real estate if you can afford it. But unfortunately for real estate, you have to have enough for a down payment. You have to have a certain debt to income ratio, and you need to have a certain credit score. And a lot of us don't have all of those things lined up right now. But you can take $100 extra and buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin is property. It's digital property in a world that is becoming more and more digital day by day. Mark Zuckerberg came out recently, said he's changing Facebook to Meta because he knows that we're going to be operating in a metaverse. And what are you going to need in a metaverse? A digital currency. Digital currencies that are created by the central banking agencies are not the same as Bitcoin. Those currencies are just the same as a dollar. They're just numbers on the computer. They are going to inflate along with the dollar as long as the Fed keeps creating stimuluses for the economy. Did you know that all of these products are at an all-time high while job openings are at an all-time high? That's not a coincidence. The government wants you to be dependent upon them. They don't want you to work. They don't want you to have dreams. They want you to sit at home, watch Netflix, and be dependent on them. The World Economic Forum recently said, you're gonna own no property and be happy, because they know that you'll be happy sitting on the couch watching Netflix as long as you're comfortable. You don't want to be comfortable. Being comfortable is the opposite of being free. You need to be uncomfortable. You need to push yourself. Just like I have you guys pushing yourselves in the gym, you need to push yourselves financially, emotionally, mentally. You need to continually develop new skills that are going to allow you to earn more US dollars to invest into assets that are going to grow. That's going to give you the freedom that you desire to do what you want, when you want, and how you want. So every time you get a paycheck, you pay yourself first. You don't pay all your bills and then see what you have left, because I can guarantee you, you're gonna spend that money on shit you don't need. Eating out, alcohol, clothes, shoes. Those are the things we spend our money on before we invest it. Instead, tax yourself. Invest 10 to 15% of everything you earn. If you earn $1,000 a week or $1,000 every 2 weeks, then take 10 to 15%, $100 to $150, and put it into an asset. Then you live off of the 90 to 85% you have left. I guarantee you'll find ways to live off of it. You might eat at home more, you might drink less alcohol, you might have to work out more because you're broke, but you got money building up. Now you're building up physically and you're building up financially. Now you have the health to move around and do anything you want, and now you have the money to do what you want to do, to build the company that you want to build. You can do anything in this world if you put your mind to it. Too many of us are satisfied with crumbs. There's an abundant universe out there with trillions of dollars, and you can take advantage of our economy if you understand what's going on, and that's why I'm making this video. So taking that 10 to 15% every single week and putting it into an investment is gonna grow. That money is gonna be working for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Some days are gonna be up, some days are gonna be down, but overall, you are going to maintain your purchasing power, maintain your financial energy over time. And as you grow your skill sets, as you grow with the freedom that you have, now that you have some money to maintain your lifestyle, then you're gonna make more money and you're gonna have a bigger impact on the world. Success is not doing what everybody else thinks that you should be doing to pay bills. Success is doing what you love and making a living while you do it. Is it easy? No, it's not easy, but it's rewarding. I can tell you, after years of coaching classes, after years of working as a firefighter, that I am much happier controlling my own time than I ever was as an employee of anybody. And because I had more time to myself and I had to depend on myself to learn more, I was able to learn how to grow my own money. This is why I want you guys to begin the simple strategy of dollar cost averaging, always putting money into your investments. I also want you guys to educate yourself. One little video by me, the gym owner, is not gonna be enough for you to understand what I'm talking about. There are thousands of videos on YouTube that talk about how important Bitcoin is to the next generation of this earth. You can look up guys like Robert Breedlove, Michael Saylor, and those are the kind of people that are going to tell you on a bigger, those are the kind of leaders that are gonna explain Bitcoin to you hour after hour, but you gotta do the work. You gotta take the action. Just like in the gym, you gotta walk in, you gotta pick up the weight, and that's how you get in shape. This is the same thing. You gotta learn the information, you gotta take the money, and you gotta put it in the game. You gotta have skin in the game. I told my friends when Bitcoin was $8,000, would you buy a house for $8,000? Of course they would. I told them Bitcoin is a digital home that's only gonna go up over time, and you don't need to have good credit to buy it. You don't need a good debt to income ratio to buy it. You can buy it today. You don't need to own a whole Bitcoin. You can own a piece of a Bitcoin, and it's gonna maintain your purchasing power. So I want you guys to continue your education. I want you guys to continue exercising. I want you to continue dreaming. I want you to continue reading and learning, because that's how you're gonna be successful. And if you're a parent, you need to do this to set an example for your children too. Your children learn from what you do, not from what you say. So make sure you practice what you preach and you set a good example. And one by one, as we begin to implement these strategies, we are going to become free. We are going to become healthier, happier. And by being healthy and happy, we are going to be able to free ourselves from the shackles of the Federal Reserve, the banking industry, and the incompetent governments that have been ruining America for many, many years. Whether you're on the left or whether you're on the right, you can all come together about improving yourself to improve the world. The worst thing that you can do is think that somebody else is going to save the world. You need to be the one that's going to save the world. You need to learn what's going to benefit the world and then put it into your life. I thought today was a very timely opportunity for me to discuss these things with you. These are the things that I'm always discussing with those closest to me, but I wanted you guys to hear it too, because this is how we change the world. Thank you. I'll see you guys on the next video, but first, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this, because if you share it, you're going to help somebody else understand, help somebody else be successful. We can all be successful together, but we have to share, and we have to care, and we have to stare at the camera.